All right, so there's been like an issue in Europe where a lot of migrants have been taking advantage of women, and that's not good. Contrary to what many people are saying, I would argue that immigration, if resulting in that, should probably be looked after a little more closely. I would say that it's probably not good to trade being inclusive to everybody for safety, you know? I would say you don't trade inclusivity for safety. That's just not what I do. You know, you can include more people, but the more people you include, the less safe things might be. Use common sense here, right? If you include pedophiles in an elementary school, you're gonna have a lot of issues, let's just say. You're including them, but I don't think inclusion is a virtue. I don't think tolerance is a virtue. These are things that people say just because it sounds nice, it sounds polite. But I think exclusion honestly provides more value than inclusion does most of the time when applied in society. So regardless, in Europe, there's been these specifically Muslim like migrant rape gangs. And I think the issue is that when these gangs exist and the government's not going to do anything about them, I would say there needs to be a social conscience that arises where you are sort of allowed to know what alley to walk down, what street to avoid, what towns to avoid. These are things that should be taught if the government's not going to do something, right? Or safety, like carrying pepper spray and stuff like this. So anyway, there's this girl in Scotland who I guess was approached by a migrant, and she brandished a weapon. She showed a knife to this guy who was like approaching her and stuff. And the guy filmed her showing the knife and tried to make it like he was the victim of the situation. But I would say that regardless, if you're approaching she seemed like a young girl, and it kind of antagonizing her, saying, "Oh, show the knife, show the knife." You won't. It's like, what's the point of that? She's not aggressing toward you. She's not charging at you with the knife. She's only even shown you the weapon after you've asked her to. It seems totally to get a reaction, to make some sort of narrative that the guy with the camera was racially profiled or targeted. So at the end of the day, I think that people don't like what I'm about to say, but it's true. You know, racism can save lives. It actually can. That sounds crazy, but it also is true. If you are alone at night in a high crime neighborhood where most of the residents are black and you're in America and you are, let's say, a woman, if you're anybody and you're walking in that area and you know that if a person is there and they might be connected to a gang or something at night following you, maybe it's racist to assume that they are going to try to rob you. But as we always say, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather be safe than sorry, okay? I'd rather run away with my belongings still belonging to me and be called a racist than not be called a racist and be fully robbed. That'd be my argument. So anyway, Scotland just fought back.
Country like Scotland becomes so dangerous that little girls carry around axes. And what's worse is, why is the media making them out to be the villain? As this video from Scotland is going viral.
Why are you fucking with us?
Get bastards!
Show the knife! Show the knife! Show the
away from us!
Show the knife! Show the knife!
Don't touch her!
That's it! That's it! Show the knife! That's it!
So I don't know what to tell you other than this guy doesn't sound Scottish at all. He doesn't sound like a Scottish native, Scotland native. And, you know, I think approaching two young-looking girls with a fucking camera saying, "Show the knife," is just insane. Stereotypes exist for a reason. They get blown out of proportion for sure, but pattern recognition is the greatest strength of humanity. Our instincts and thought process are based upon it. 100%, yeah.
Show the knife! Show the knife!
Listen to this. He walks closer to her. Why don't you just leave? I don't understand this. Like, yeah, there's a knife. She's standing still. She's standing her ground. Why don't you get the fuck away? Get the fuck away. Move.
Show the knife! Show the
Away from us!
Show the
How? And she's crying, saying, "Get the fuck away from us." Why don't you listen? Jesus, these people are filth.
knife! Show the knife!
Don't touch her!
That's it! That's it! Show the knife! That's it!
Don't touch my little sister! She has 12! She has 12 and you just bastards me!
But rest assured, Scotland, the girl has been arrested. Like most viral videos, we're only seeing a brief glimpse into an incident that was likely much longer. But I'm not certain how much context you need on a grown man antagonizing kids, yelling,
She's 12 years
"Stay
old.
away from us," as the UK has had several reports of girls being horrendously attacked by specific men, and it is a crime for them to even carry pepper spray to protect themselves.
Is this true?
So it makes sense why people are siding with the kids. But sure, there is a possibility these kids were on a crime spree. It just doesn't explain why this particular adult was interacting with them in the first place. And given how much social media outrage is occurring over the incident, you'd be certain the corporate media would
Why are people defending a grown-ass man harassing children? I think it's because the guy is a minority and they're assuming these children had racial prejudice. And because the guy didn't rape them yet, they're basically saying that you gotta leave him alone. Be nice to him. Even though he literally approached the 12-year-old girl.
explain why the girl, and only the girl, needed to be arrested. But no. Days later, local outlets are only saying the female youth was arrested over the bladed weapon, and she will be reported to the relevant authorities.
It's actually
absolutely
insane.
Nothing on the guy recording.
We live in clown
nothing
world.
as to why
we
she
live
had
in
the
clown
weapons
world.
in
This
the
is
first.
insane. I don't understand how you can look at this and not see the guy as the obvious agitator. This is so obvious. It's insane. If you've been in any scenario when someone is approaching you, antagonizing you, telling you to basically do it, pussy, that's what he's saying. He's saying, do it, no balls. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that no one sees that and immediately says, okay, yeah, maybe the 12-year-old isn't the bad person here.
First place, which lets you know they're omitting all the inconvenient information as to why little kids in the UK feel the need to carry axes in the street, as Twitter users are hailing her as a hero, with plenty of AI imagery showing her protecting Scotland, and even comparing her to Saint Joan of Arc, highlighting how the question isn't why is she carrying an axe, but why.
What's this? I'm just here to see who is asking why a little girl is carrying weapons and not asking why a group of migrant men are following around 12-year-olds like that? Yeah.
As a grown adult with that accent approaching her. You'd think these are all concerns the mainstream media would want to address, especially considering this story is basically my entire social media feed. But sometimes their silence is all the confirmation we'll get. But what's insane is far-left Reddit's replies to Twitter's reaction, saying it's good she was arrested since there was a
knife. Wait, what? The area where she was wielding those weapons was the same area where Dr. Fortune was murdered in a knife attack only a few months back. Are you retarded or are you retarded? I mean, you're a Redditor, so I guess that ticks both boxes, but the idea that this person who's 12 years of age was a person who murdered a doctor a few months ago and happens to have the same weapon used in the murder on her right now, I find insanely hard to believe. And I would go as far to say that you are personally the victim of being dropped when you were young.
Another knife attack nearby months earlier.
I'm glad the police have dealt with this swiftly.
It's good she was arrested since there was another knife attack nearby months earlier. Remarking the girls having weapons is going to make the immigrants get weapons.
Oh my god, dude.
To protect.
People who think this girl was just protecting herself by having these weapons are going to be singing a different tune if immigrants get tooled up to protect themselves from assaults by racist bigots who think they shouldn't be there. Oh my god, dude. Redditors do not deserve human rights, and that is the most serious claim I will ever make about these people. They're not people. They're really not. Redditors. You know, the best thing about YouTube's rules is that you cannot attack groups of people based on things they can't control. Being a Redditor is totally in your control. If you've made it a Reddit account in the past, however long Reddit's been around, your human rights should be just thrown in the garbage, honestly. Listen to this shit. This is unbelievable. So this guy's argument is basically saying that if a child who in an area where there's a lot of raping happening carries a weapon to prevent the rape of themselves, then immigrants should carry them because they might be victims too. Imagine that. Imagine literally thinking about like, oh, hey, yeah, you know, there's a 12-year-old girl who's carrying around a weapon because there's migrants that are, you know, raping and grooming children. But yeah, I also do care a lot about how the migrants are being affected by the negative PR of the rape. That's the argument. That raping kids as a certain group will make your group look bad, and so therefore you need to get a weapon in case someone profiles you based on the raping of the people that you associate with. Interesting. That's Reddit for you.
Protect themselves from them, and then somebody saying they faced a similar situation. Not
I was facing assault by minors. This never happened. And when I told the authorities, they turned it on me saying I'm discriminating against them for being... I don't know what that says. I don't actually know what this says. These little bastards know what they're doing. Oh yeah, so it's the kids' fault. Yeah. The kids! Are you out of your fucking mind? Listen to this. This is a real human being who actually wrote that they think the child was trying to attack the migrant. You literally deserve no rights at all. I'm actually serious. Like, these people are so insane, it's unbelievable. Listen to these fucking Redditors. Oh yeah, I was attacked by kids once. Also, that never happened. Literally, you're victim-blaming children. You know, it's believe all victims until the victims are victims of certain ethnic groups.
From the perspective of the kids, but the guy recording, to which every single reply calling him out for being in that situation got massively downvoted. There's a serious situation that needs to be addressed on Reddit, but that's for a different video. It's just insane to think that when a video like this goes viral, Twitter and Instagram's perspective defaults to the kids, and how can we keep the girls safe? Then Reddit defaults to, what about the guy recording? That could have been any Redditor. How can we make everybody more defenseless? But after I saw that Reddit thread of the concerned parent finding out their kid is smoking pot, and Reddit collectively tried to cover for the kid, then shaming the parent for being concerned about it, made me completely lose faith in the collective hive mind of that platform. As there is a
Is this real? So oh my god, yeah, that's for weed. And they're like, oh, it helps blend makeup.
It collectively tried to cover for the kid.
So let's make it that the parent doesn't know that their kid's smoking weed. Epic moment from Reddit. You're doing so much good for the world. Oh my god, dude. I really want to say shit that I know I can't say on YouTube.
Then shaming the parent for being concerned about it made me completely lose faith in the collective hive mind of that platform. As there is a valid concern about viral videos being falsely framed, where this other clip from the UK shows what their police are preoccupied with.
13-year-old girl arrested.
This other clip from the UK
for going to McDonald's.
Shows what their police are preoccupied with.
Holy shit, this country's a joke. Jesus Christ.
As most people would find this ridiculous, but it was later reported that she was arguing with the McDonald's staff and police, scratching and kicking them. As just because they're kids doesn't mean they're not capable of crime, and just because we identify better with one group, let it be law enforcement, students, or migrants, doesn't mean we should default to one side, as I don't even really believe that Twitter community note either. But what we're seeing in Scotland or the UK as a whole makes me believe the absence of information means Twitter is correct. As look at Scotland in 2019. 2 years later, the same side is protesting deportations. Then this year, when Trump arrives in Scotland, we see mass immigration protests just like in the US.
Obviously. Dude, the UK has fallen so hard.
We've been told in Scotland that left of centre, the refugees are welcome here. Well, today Falkirk have said enough is enough. People are here protesting this hotel just at the other side. They've had hundreds of refugees staying here over the years, and people are really upset at the fact that some of them have been involved in really heinous acts now.
Isn't it interesting how globally all these Western countries are experiencing the same exact issues simultaneously? It's almost as if there had to be a global agenda for this to take place. And whenever a crime, say a migrant attack on school kids, or a migrant swinging a machete at federal law enforcement, it conveniently gets omitted from the mainstream media as it harms a liberal agenda.
Interesting. It's just kind of crazy, bro. I don't know.